Hello everyone, my name is Wan Yi and I am going to present to you my CAIE final project. The title name is called AI-Powered Content Classification and Article Generation Tool. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a professional trainer and I have a website called LibreCloud Consulting, and I usually write articles in this website. You can call me a blogger that talks about interesting subjects like a website and also AI tools. So when I want to write such an article, my process is always to go to my mailbox, okay, to look for related articles regarding AI. One of the benefits of having this system is basically it helps me to reduce context switching when I'm planning and writing blog articles. So this is very important because every time I move my attention to a different tab, it takes me at least 20 minutes to get back into the flow of work. And I believe I'm not the only one that actually has this problem. A lot of people actually have this kind of problem as well. This is why you can see a lot of AI tools are starting to build more and more things within the application itself. Yeah. So I'm going to start with the basic source of my data, which is from my own work account. And the output is basically three things: a data pipeline and utilities that extract the content from newsletters, an auto-labeling utility based on the 5 different categories of content that I envision. And all this data will be uploaded to a content repository. So there will be a custom AI model that helps me to classify all these articles in time. And of course, there is also the WordPress plugin that connects to this API for tag classification of the article I'm writing. And it also helps me access the headlines and the descriptions in the content repository in case I want to have a list of recommended articles. We will now go ahead to the SILAJU AI plugin. Go into text generation, and this is basically the screen used for my article creation needs. So what do I want to write today? I'll just type in something simple. Okay, I can just click on generate article. Okay, so it's generating the text and it should come out inside the area box on the right hand side. So let me move myself away. A human still needs to go in there to actually fine-tune the build things. And I can just click on get tags to classify this article. So when I click on get tags, okay, it will just predict that, okay, this one is related to 2 different tags. And it has decided that, okay, it has something to do with business and also something to do with enthusiasts. Since it has already detected that it is under business and also enthusiasts, okay, I as a human, I can actually dispute this AI decision, because it is not even be able to detect that it's themes, styles. These are words related to creatives. I don't want business, but I want to target more creative. Now, and then I'll just click on suggest headlines just to get more related articles. And it will go into Superbase and look up articles that is related to creative and also enthusiasts. All right, so you can actually see, okay, so polished presentations, okay, image AI generation, okay, and edit video scenes. Okay, so it seems that, I actually have related content that I can add on to my content itself. So after doing up some additional things inside here, I can just click on create a draft post, and it will actually put this article inside a WordPress post. So it will ask me, would you like to edit the post now? I will say okay, and it will open up the post for me like this. So I can change the title. Another notable thing is you might notice that it's actually in draft mode, which is exactly as designed. And I can continue to add on more things here. I will show you another feature, which is image generation. I can go to my SILAJU plugin and go into image generation. And here I can actually create a prompt. So I can choose how many images that I want to create. And I can just click on generate images. So I've got 2 different images here, a bit colorful and vibrant. Okay, maybe this is really good. Okay, so once I have decided, okay, which one is better, like this one actually has more expression in eyes, less green. Okay, there you go. All right, I can add this to my media library. After that, I can actually go back to my post image, and I can select from my media library, which I actually have the bot here. There you go. This WordPress plugin is going to help me reduce context switching. Context switching basically means I don't need to switch my tab to a different tool to generate the content or to generate the text and copy and paste over. Yeah, almost everything can be done within the same platform itself, and it actually improves productivity and also reduces distraction. So this is basically the workflow. I've ensured there's actually a human in the loop here to basically be able to work with the articles, because personally, I don't believe in AI generated articles. All right, every single article that we produce should have some sort of human input on it. So that's why LLMs, generative AI, is heavily used in our industry to produce articles or even help in the ideation process and also writing process. All right, so moving on next, we will talk about the API server. So basically in the SILAJU project, you already have the data pipeline, the machine learning model, and also the API developed, and also the API endpoint available for any software to connect. When an AI model is trained up, the output for this training is basically a job-lead files here. So there's a vectorizer and there's also a multi-label classifier. So in order for me to actually make this into a callable tool that can be used either in a workflow or REST API call, I have created a file called the API server.py. So API server.py will take the models from the multi-label classifier and the vectorizer, and also connects to Supabase as well to actually get the email data. I have to expose two points here, my API points here, to actually predict what is the category of the article, and also what are the related articles that I can insert with the articles that I'm writing. So basically just a very quick run through of how it looks like in my Supabase. So I have my project, and I do have a table here that actually has all the data, that has all the related labels. So this is the annotation schema that I use. I have these 5 groups of people that is likely to come and read my articles, or 5 types of topics that I will be covering in my article writing process. So it's basically for the creative industry, or IT enthusiasts, or business owners, or even e-commerce players that actually have very voluminous problems like a lot of data, a lot of analytics, sales, marketing, workflow, and also communications. I would say agentic AI also can be actually useful for an e-commerce case study. And of course, the one big important subject nowadays is called cybersecurity and also ethics. So this will be classified under policy. Each of this column is basically only 2 values. It's either true or false. We move on to training and evaluating the model. I have written up a little bit of code to actually get the certain model output files. The train model is train multi-label classifier py, and in this file I have taken a liberty to make some design decisions that will make it easier for people to locate the output files. Right? First of all, there will be 2 files that are produced from this AI training, and it will be saved under the models subfolder. So there will be a model label classifier and also the vectorizer. I have also employed the strategy of putting timestamps in my file name, okay, so that I can see which particular model is the most recent one. This is just to help me to be able to identify every time I change the recipe for training the AI model, I would know which one and when was it trained. At the end of the day, what matters most is the evaluation metrics of all these models, so that we can select the best model for our use case. So in this code itself, you will appreciate that at the end of it, I have actually designed some metrics that is going to help me identify accuracy of the multi-classification model. Also, some numbers that can help me decide how accurate the data is. Because I'm actually building a multi-label classifier, so there are other metrics that I can use to determine whether the model is going to do its job well or not. So there is 2 metrics here called the Hamming loss and also the subset accuracy. So this is a summary. I would actually more emphasize on Hamming loss because my concern here is whether the AI model is able to classify articles accurately or not. It does not need to have all labels exactly correct. Even if, let's say for example, I give my AI model in an article that is relating to creative people making money building an AI tool to help people produce videos. I would normally classify this as business related article and also creative related article, right? But even if the AI model fails to identify that it is a business related article as well, it's still not the end of the world because we still have readers from the creative side that will actually appreciate the article. It's not do or die scenario. Of course, ideally, when I run training for my AI models, I will aim for the lower Hamming loss, as low as possible. Just to take away, I'm measuring the overall error rate. I'm not saying F1 is not useful. F1 is good for general measurement purposes. But because this is a multi-label classifier, I would actually say Hamming loss is a very good number to have in the process of trying out different AI training recipes I can do to basically get the right type of AI model that works good in my use case. This is the evaluation report once I have completed the whole training, just as expected. During the exploratory data analysis stage, we have already identified that the e-commerce and policy is not enough. There's not enough data there to actually create a balanced data set. Therefore, what happened after you use it to train your AI model is expected. The AI model cannot identify it. It's underrepresented, okay, per label performance. So this is basically to reinforce the fact that I need to find more e-commerce related articles and also cybersecurity related articles to make it perform a little bit better. Practical next steps, I would actually try to improve a few numbers and metrics by changing different algorithms. In short, your model is good as what it sees often, bad at what it rarely sees. So I have to teach this model by exposing it to more e-commerce related and also policy related articles. And also I have to rebalance my training data, so that I can improve the F1 numbers and also the Hamming loss. There are two projects here. One is called the SILAJU project. The other one is called the SILAJU AI plugin. Both repositories will be listed in the YouTube description below. So do check out the links if you are interested to see what I do. I'm just going to point out a few important things about my project. So most of the utility tools are actually stored here under the source folder, while the data folder actually contains the raw data and also the process output of the extraction. Okay, so after I extract data and I also labeled the data, I will usually perform what we call an EDA process, exploratory data analysis. And in the EDA results, you will find that there's a few reports here that is very helpful to gauge how balanced the extracted data is from the data pipeline. So after that, I will actually run a training model code that produces the output files. Okay, so these are basically AI models that is trained based on my data. After that, there will be a API server that is running to actually offer the classifying functionalities of the models. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you when I see you.